Kilo, let me write this down, Kilo Bravo 3 Alpha Quebec, is that a Roger?
Just the middle letter, Alpha Whiskey Quebec.
I'm sorry, Kilo Bravo 3, and what's the rest?
America, or Alpha Whiskey Quebec. Alpha Whiskey Quebec.
I got you there, Alpha Whiskey Quebec, and what's the name?
John, Juliet Oscar Hotel November.
Roger, John, and what's your location, sir?
We're here at Eastern PA, up here in Williamsport, PA.
All righty, and come back and tell me about your antenna system there, and let me look around, see if I can get a better signal, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, you're actually pretty strong here. The original version. And I'm using the antenna is actually a ground-mounted vertical. It's a Hustler 5B. And it's basically ground-mounted. And what else? Yeah, basically on this radio here, I've got the gain up to, and the boom mic is sullied out there's no way from the mouth. And trying to think if there's anything else. Back to you.
Roger, John. Well, I didn't find any better signal, and I only have you a 3 dB over my noise level. So what was that radio that you're running?
It's Icon 706, the original version.
Alrighty. Gosh, we could help you set up there a little bit if you'd be interested in a little fatter signal.
Okay.
First thing is engage your compressor at about a 3. Engage your compressor at about a 3 level, Roger.
Okay, now I do have some question on. How do you actually change
If you would, just go ahead and set it at a 3, and we'll work it out from there. Let's see. The normal tune-up procedure, if less doesn't work exactly like we would want, and more, you start hearing it suck up. And the thing about setting up stuff is that you want to set them up with a little finesse that you don't really hear anything working. It just is a loud signal. So we would start with that compressor at a 3, Roger.
Okay, I have the gain at 3 there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Now move to your ALC. And with your mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a 5. Okay, when I do 5, it's about a 6.
Yeah, you don't want to set a level that way. You don't want to whistle. You don't want to go, You just want to speak in your natural voice, just your normal voice at the average place where you work the microphone, and just adjust your mic level to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Roger, Roger. And now do you know where your equalization is?
Actually, that's about 6 right there. Well, no, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, that's about right there.
Roger, John. Gosh, probably the best way to set your mic level is if you were telling me about something about the radio, the best thing about the radio that you like, and then as you're talking, just turn the mic to level gain to where you're reading mid-scale to 2/3. Sometimes if you speak differently, you wind up not at the correct level. So I just need for you to tell me about something, and as you're telling me about something, then just use your mic gain to adjust that LC meter to its mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Okay, yeah, real good. Well, we can clear the world here, and it's been on for 2 weeks here, and I guess Monday we're actually gonna, go back for a couple days a week there, and next month here anyway, and the radio. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years now, and it's not a bad radio. I want to use, and I just tried to, kind of keep, the audio. People have always said it had a little bit of punch to it, but other than that, though, it's I don't know. Basically, just based on what I've been laying down, trying not to look at here, it's been around 7 or 8 on the ALC. I guess that's probably about 2/3 of it, right?
Roger, John. Now you can look at your ALC. I didn't mean that you couldn't. I mean, you can't adjust the meter without looking at it. I'm just saying that you when you're speaking, that you're speaking very naturally and normally when you adjust that level. A lot of people get real close and it's hello, like that, a whistle or whatever, and that's not setting that meter the way it needs to be set. It needs to be set to control your average speaking voice in a normal situation. It needs to reflect that. So I think we got that. That was about a 5-minute dissertation. So I think you got that, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want my by looking at it, that could tend to maybe change the way that I talk or something too. So I didn't want to I was just kind of glancing down at it as I'm talking normal, and like I said, it's been about 7 or 8 there. So it seems like maybe that's around 2/3, I would say. So this is how I would normally talk. And I'm able to look at it a little easier now. Actually, it's maxing out at the very high there was I think 8, but it's mostly staying right at 7. So I guess is that normal?
Okay, John, now I don't want you to look at it anymore. I want you to get off your ALC. Now, you've set that. What I want you to do now, do you have an external watt meter in line?
Just the one that's going into the radio, guys.
All right. Well, I want you to look at that watt meter there, and the exercise is that where the sweet spot is on that meter. Well, what I want you to do is try to keep the needle up in that sweet spot when you're talking. You're looking at that meter, and you might have to increase your speech rate just a little bit, but the main thing is to keep your words, your words at the same level. So you're actually doing your own work on your trying to keep ballistically that meter at that sweet spot position, Roger, through tempo and the uniformity of each word.
Okay, so basically, you probably want to have the most output out of it as well, and it seems like it's pretty balanced, I would say. It's kind of like overdriving the power, but it's a match. I would say, if it were me, I would say that it's probably about maybe where it should be. Based on educated guess. Hello, radio.
Frequencies in use, sir. That's a Roger, John, and that's an exercise, and the more you do that, the more the easier it is to keep that needle up in that sweet spot position. And it's all about trying to keep a good signal on the air, and again, part of that is to be sure and stay on axis to your microphone. Don't pull off to one side or the other side. Can be very consistent about the way you work your your microphone and the volume of your voice, and actually the rate of speech of your voice. And that is part of the exercise. And if you have a VU meter on that radio, you could use that as well as the watt meter, Roger.
I think over the last week or two of being off here, I have heard you on at least one other time for sure. I just actually came up and got on here and heard you on, so I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll give it a shot here, because, I don't know, I guess it's one of those things, you don't always, sometimes people, will tell you other things, and, what sounds good to one doesn't always sound good to someone else, and, obviously sometimes, just having audio, just by having somebody that is, more familiar with audio, it kind of helps out a lot. So I'm guessing probably the mic gain 3 and is where it's at here, and seems like that's maybe where the sweet spot is there. And also, I just write your call down actually. KB3AWQ.
Roger, call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor KC9VKV. And looking at your audio on my VU meter, I can see ballistically now that you have about a 3 dB dynamic range, which equates to an 80 to 85% of average peak modulation. So that's very good. And if I had just a little bit better signal on you, we might get into your EQ. But right now you're in the safe zone of the EQ. It's intelligible, very intelligible. Probably we could work on it a little bit if we had a little bit better signal. Roger.
Okay, yeah, I'm not real sure if I've ever seen that setting in here as far as EQ. I guess you know what it might be labeled as.
Equalization. It could be also termed equalization. Roger.
Obviously, if it was at 5, I was probably, well, when I first called for you, I was probably at 5, or I was at 5. So my guess is it was probably maybe over deviating or something. So I guess this probably sounds better then. So that's good. Thanks again for all your help. KB3AWQ.
Roger, John 3's that way, sir, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, and maybe we'll pick up on the EQ curve just a little bit. Like I say, right now you're totally intelligible, but we could probably work on that and make it just a little bit better, but I want to hear you a lot cleaner before we get into that. You're right now probably about 3 dB above my noise level. So let me say 3s for now, John, and we'll catch you, like I say, maybe next Friday if you get a chance. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.